The Water Margin, Chapter 13.
In the city of Daming, and we're watching a high-stakes military trial run by this guy, Liang Zongshu. The mission seems simple. Find the best warrior for the job of deputy plaque.
And the two contenders are Zhu Jin and this other warrior, the formidable Yang Ji.
Right. And you have to picture the scene. This isn't some friendly sparring match. They're on horseback, spears out, ready for a lethal duel.
But gets stopped immediately. The military supervisor, a man named Wen Dai, he just yells, "Hold up."
Yeah, and it's this really fascinating moment of, pragmatism. He basically says that steel spears are unfeeling things.
Unfeeling things. I like that.
That means someone's going to get seriously hurt or more likely killed. And his point is, you can't just lose a highly trained warrior like that. It's, and this is a direct quote, detrimental to the army. They need a winner, sure, but they can't afford to just throw away a valuable asset. And the solution they come up with for that first fight, it's just ingenious. It turns a test of, lethal force into this pure measure of control and defense.
Okay, so tell us about the scoring system. How did they manage to do that? To make it precise without being deadly?
Well, first, they neutralize the weapons, the steel spearheads. They come right off.
Gone.
And in their place, they wrap the tips in felt really tightly to make what the text calls a bone club. Then comes the scoring part. They dip those felt tips in white lime powder.
Ah, I see where this is going. And they make the fighters wear black shirts so their armor becomes this high-contrast scoreboard.
Exactly. The scoring is brutally clear. Whoever has those white dots on them, they lose. It's not just about winning, it's about asset preservation. The lime test is sort of an early minimum viable skill test. It's asking, can you prove you're a master while also protecting the army's property, which in this case is your own body?
The technical difficulty must have been insane. You're trying to land a shot, but also dodge dozens of incoming strikes, and every tiny mistake, every little touch, is a point against you.
Oh, it's an incredible physical challenge.
Yeah.
And it went on for 40 to 50 bouts. Grueling. But the results were, they were completely one-sided.
So what happened?
Zhu Jin, the guy who already had the job, came out of it looking, and I love this description, like tofu that had been spilled. He was covered in 30 to 50 white spots. A complete failure of defensive skill.
And Yang Ji?
One, a single white spot on his left shoulder blade. That's it. His mastery was just undeniable. And Liang Zongshu, the guy in charge, he's absolutely thrilled. He immediately tries to give Yang Zi the job and just dismisses Zhu Jin, saying, with martial arts like that, how can you march south and fight north? He's sending a message to everyone watching, precision matters more than just brute force.
But just as Yang Ji is about to get the job, this is where the politics come crashing in, right? It's never that simple.
Never. Before anything's official, another military supervisor, Li Cheng, he steps in. He argues that firing Zhu Jin right away would slow down military morale. It sounds like he's worried about the troops, but really it's a political move.
A classic bureaucratic play, right? Protect the old guard. And Li Cheng suggests that maybe Zhu Jin's spear work is just, what's the term, sheng shu?
Rusty. Yeah, just rusty. But he says, Zhu Jin is still really good at Gongma Shuzi and bow and horse, archery.
So he's forcing a new contest.
Exactly. It's a very shrewd move. Is he really trying to be fair? Or is he just making sure this newcomer, Yang Zi, has to jump through every single hoop to legitimize his position? Either way, the archery challenge is on.
And the mood shifts right back to life or death. We're talking lethal arrows now. Yang Zi even mentions the risk, but Liang Zongshu, who's totally invested in him now, just waves it off. He says, if you have the skill, shooting someone to death is irrelevant.
But Li Cheng, ever the cautious one, he insists on a compromise. They both hit these arrow shields strapped to their arms. Still, it's Yang Zi who sets the terms, and with just supreme confidence. He says, you shoot me 3 times first, then I'll shoot you 3 times.
That is a massive gamble. He's giving his opponent 3 clean shots, 3 chances to kill him while he's just on defense. And Zhu Jin, you can tell from the text, he was trying to shoot Yang Zi transparent. This was real combat again.
It was. But Yang Zi's defense, it was an absolute masterclass in evasion and reaction time. Would you really walk through these 3 moves?
Okay, take us through them.
So, the first arrow, Yang Zi doesn't even seem to see it coming. He just hears the bowstring snap, and in a flash, he does this Mu Ku Ding Li Kangshen. He hides in the stirrup. He drops his whole body below the horse. The arrow just flies right over his back.
That's incredibly risky, though. That kind of move, it goes against that whole asset preservation idea from before.
It does. It shows we're back to high risk, high reward. So for the second arrow, he doesn't dodge. He deflects. He brings up his own bow and uses the gong xiao, the tip of the bow, to knock the arrow away into the grass.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, think about the precision to do that at a full gallop.
And the third arrow, Zijin must have been losing his mind.
He was. For the third shot, he puts everything he has into it. And Yang Zi pulls off the most dramatic move of all. Twists his body on the saddle and catches the arrow.
Wait, he catches it?
Midair, in his hand.
No way. Let's just pause on that. He caught a speeding arrow on a moving horse. The physics of that alone, it's not luck. That's predictive timing and incredible strength. So after 3 tries, Zijin didn't even touch him.
Not a scratch. He proved his defense was perfect. So now it's his turn to shoot. And this is where we see a really interesting side of his character, kind of martial morality.
How do you mean?
He actually pauses. He thinks about it and decides that he and Zijin have no past grievances or hatred. Even though he was given permission to kill, Yang Zi decides he can't aim for a fatal spot. It's a real ethical choice.
So he draws the bow with that classic, almost legendary description. Left hand like Mount Tai, right hand like holding an infant, arrow like a shooting star. What was the shot?
A calculated, non-fatal one. He hits Sujin's square in the left shoulder. Sujin is totally unprepared. Kusho Buji, he just falls right off his horse. The injury is decisive, but not deadly. It proves Yang Zi is superior in every way: skill, defense, and even ethics. Lang Zongshu is ecstatic. The job is his.
So he's done it. He passed the technical test, he passed the political one, but of course the story's not over. Before he can even properly thank his patron, the real challenge shows up.
That's right. Enter Suo Chao. He's the chief plaque, and he storms in to defend the honor of the old guard. He's this huge, imposing guy, over 7 feet tall, round face, big beard, a real intimidating presence.
And his reputation is everything. He's called the Urgent Pioneer.
Jixian Feng. And the name says it all. He's got this fiery, impatient temper quo Yanru Huo, like adding salt to fire. He's the guy who always has to be first into the fight. And he just dismisses Yang Zi's win. Says Zhu Jin only lost because he was sick and lacked spirit.
This is a direct challenge from a higher-ranking officer. And Suo Chao just raises the stakes completely. He says, if you beat me, forget deputy plaque. You could have my job. You can be the chief plaque.
And just for everyone listening, we should be clear. The chief plaque is the top military commander in the region. The deputy is second in command. Suo Chao is basically telling him to try and jump the entire chain of command in one fight.
This has to be exactly what Ling Zongshu wanted. Li Qing and the others all agree this is the real test. The former Palace Guardian versus the current chief plaque. Let's see who's really the best.
And Liang Zongshu is all in now. He's secretly hoping Yang Zi wins again, because if he can beat the top guy, nobody can question the promotion. Yang Zi has become the ultimate political instrument for his patron.
And that investment leads to this incredible symbolic gesture. Liang Zongshu tells Yang Zi to get the best armor from the arsenal, and then he does something just unprecedented. He lends Yang Zi his own personal warhorse.
A commander lending his personal horse, his most prized asset, to a subordinate for a duel. It's an unbelievable sign of favor. It's him saying, my reputation, my resources, I'm staking it all on you.
The sources spend a lot of time describing the setting, and right away it tells you this is not a casual fight. This is all about top-down power.
Precisely. The whole thing is framed by the man in charge. Liang Zongshu is sitting on a silver folding chair, the hall.
Yeah.
And he's under this huge maroon silk parasol with a silver gourd on top. None of that is just for comfort. It's pure symbolism. The silver, the 3 eaves on the parasol, it all screams rank and absolute control.
And the whole court is just waiting for a signal.
In complete silence, yeah.
But even before it all kicks off, there's pressure being applied behind the scenes, specifically on Suo Chao. His apprentice had already lost a round earlier, so if Suo Chao fails, it looks really bad for the established guys in Daming Fu.
Right, it creates this fascinating political tension. Suo Chao is basically representing the old guard, and he has to win, which is why his commander, Li Cheng, steps in. And he doesn't just give him a pep talk, he loans Suo Chao his own personal top-tier gear, his best white horse, his own armor.
Wow, so that's a huge investment.
It's a massive investment. It's like a strategic injection of assets into the competition to make sure their guy has every possible advantage. If he messes up, Li Cheng looks bad too. The stakes are just enormous.
Okay, so let's get to the ceremony. It's all so carefully choreographed. It starts with a lot of noise.
A ton of noise. First you get the red flags waving, then 2 full rounds of drums and gongs. A cannon fires from each camp to announce the heroes.
It's a big burst of energy, but then it all just stops.
It completely shifts.
Yeah.
The yellow flag waves, there's one last drum roll, and then a gong rings out and they hoist a pure white flag. And the source says at that moment, no official dares to speak. It's this moment of enforced stillness.
That's a powerful psychological trick.
It totally is. It's like the quiet eye of the storm. It forces every single person there to focus completely on the two figures who are about to appear. This whole ritual is designed to make the final judgment feel, I don't know, almost sacred.
Okay, so the green flag finally waves, the third war drum sounds, and we finally meet the heroes. And their gear isn't just gear, it's ESET. It's basically propaganda. Let's start with Suo Chao, the fierce vanguard.
Su Chao looks like an absolute beast. He's got this polished steel lion helmet on, but the detail the book really focuses on is the huge red tassel. It's meant to visually scream aggression.
Yeah.
Then he's got iron leaf armor, bronze heart-protecting mirrors.
And that weapon, the golden-dipped battle axe.
That's just pure, overwhelming force in weapon form.
Yeah.
But maybe the most impressive thing is the horse that Li Cheng lent him. This thing is described as being like two mythological creatures at once, a white-browed tiger and a jade quailin. So it's not just a horse. It represents virtue, nobility, strength.
A very traditional kind of power. So how does Yang Zi, the blue-faced beast, compare when he comes out?
He's the perfect contrast. Just as intimidating, but in a different way. Less bombastic. His helmet is frost-shining steel, but with blue tassels. His armor is more intricate, plum blossom scale mail. He wears a white silk robe under it, which contrasts with Suo Chao's red.
And his weapon is totally different, too. A spear, not an axe.
Solid iron pointed steel spear, yep. So where the axe is about brute force, the spear is about precision, reach, and, just being unforgiving.
And his horse.
Oh, his horse is incredible. Lang Zongshu gives him this fiery red steed. The description is amazing. A mane like fire, a body like smeared rouge. And the source immediately compares it to the famous Red Hare, the horse of Lu Bu and Guan Yu, a legendary, unstoppable force of nature.
So you literally have the noble white quailin on one side and the blazing red hare on the other. The show is already a massive success before they even trade blows.
Exactly. The text even says the soldiers are already impressed by their superior presence. They don't look like guys trying out for a job. They look like demigods of war.
Then the final command comes down. Give it everything you've got. Failure means punishment. Victory means huge rewards.
And they just go at it. Suo Chao is fighting with this real anger, needing to restore honor, while Yan Ji is just showing off his pure skill. The imagery is. It's epic. 4 arms moving like crazy, 8 horse hooves tearing up the ground. One is like a heavenly king, the other a great marshal.
Spear tips spitting fire, axe edge flashing cold light.
It's high-level stuff. Both are just waiting for the tiniest mistake.
But then, nothing. They fight for over 50 rounds, and there's no clear winner. A total deadlock. And this is where the politics come roaring back in.
Yes, this is the pivot. Ling Zongshu is described as being dumbstruck. He suddenly realizes he hasn't found a single winner. He's created a stalemate that's about to destroy one or both of his best potential assets.
The senior commanders, Lu Cheng and Wen Da, they see it too. They've got these 2 incredible warriors on the field, and if this keeps up, one of them is going to get seriously hurt, or worse. All for one job opening.
It's a classic case of asset management, right? It overrides the rules of the competition. Li Cheng and Wen Da make a call. It's better to have 2 amazing generals than one winner and one casualty.
So they just stop the fight.
They signal for it. A gong suddenly sounds, and it's over. Even the heroes are reluctant to stop.
Yeah.
They were trying to compete for merit, They were in it to win. But the guys in charge had a different goal. Talent retention.
Which brings us to the final judgment. What's the verdict?
Li Cheng and Wen Da go to Liang Zongshu and deliver the perfect solution. They tell him the 2 men are equally skilled and that both are suitable for heavy use. They're basically arguing for a dual promotion.
And it works. Instead of a winner-take-all, they get double the value. He promotes them both to military commissioner. How big of a deal is that?
It's a huge deal. Dong wasn't just a field commander. It was a regional inspector, a guy in charge of training and managing local forces. It's a serious step up. So Liang Zongshu doesn't just fill one spot. He suddenly has 2 powerful, tested, and now very loyal commanders.
And the public buys it completely.
They love it. As the 2 new commissioners ride back into the city, the people are cheering. They say they've never seen such a great fight between 2 heroes. The stalemate is seen as a double victory.
So the whole thing ends up being a massive political win for Liang Zongshu. He looks fair, he's got 2 new star commanders, and the people are thrilled.
It's a perfect outcome. Suo Chao, the insider, goes off to celebrate with his friends, and Yang Zi, the newcomer, goes straight to the Liang residence. basically pledging his loyalty to the man who just made his career. We're back with Liang Zhongshu, the governor, and his political stock is clearly rising. I mean, you can see it in how he's treating Yangzi, the blue-faced beast.
He's showering him with money, a hefty monthly allowance.
The patronage is intense, and the text even says other commanders, like Suo Chao, are impressed by Yangzi's skill.
And this whole atmosphere of success, it's immediately tied to this immense financial pressure.
Exactly, and it's a time-sensitive pressure, too.
Right. The calendar has flipped to late spring, early summer. We're at the Duanwu Festival, the Rubenji.
Which isn't just a party, it's a deadline. It's tied to the whole political machine.
It really is.
And the centerpiece, the big thing, the real hook of this whole plot is this number, 100,000 guan.
Just a huge sum.
That's the value of the gold, the pearls, all the treasures Liang Zhongshu is gathering. It's a colossal, politically vital tribute for the capital.
And it's basically a magnet for trouble, isn't it? It signals extreme wealth that's about to start moving through very hostile territory.
Yeah.
And that tribute, it dictates all the tension in this opening sequence. We find Liang Zhongshu at a family banquet celebrating Duanwu.
With his wife, Kai Furen.
Who, and this is key, just happens to be the daughter of the most powerful man in the realm, Kai Taishi.
And the scene is just, it's designed to be overwhelming in its luxury.
Oh, totally. You have the green mugwort and red pomegranate in these ornate vases, crystal curtains, peacock screens. The works.
The food is exquisite sticky rice cakes, the yao shu, and it's all being served in purple cups by beautiful women while musicians are playing.
It's not just wealth, it's a statement. It's a display of what they see as untouchable power.
But the source material is so quick to, puncture that bubble.
Immediately, Kai Furen brings up the political reality of it all.
She forces him to acknowledge that his entire position, his fame and wealth, is all because of her father.
It's a very explicit reminder. He's not his own man. He's a wealthy steward, and he's managing the family's political debt.
Which brings us right to that birthday deadline.
June 15th, Kai Taishi's birthday.
And Liam Zhongshu has to confirm, yep, the 100,000 guan gift is almost ready to go.
But this is where it gets really interesting. This is the big structural failure of the elite.
Last year.
They tried to send a similar tribute, and it was completely robbed mid-journey.
And not just robbed.
No, the thieves were never even caught, and that is the detail that's paralyzing him.
Right. He's rich, he's powerful, he's connected, but he's completely incompetent at actually moving his most critical asset safely.
He even admits it. He's delaying choosing the convoy leader because of that catastrophic failure.
It's terrifying, really. It means the system is fundamentally broken.
It's one thing to be robbed, but to have zero accountability, zero resolution.
It's a green light to every bandit out there. It says the imperial infrastructure is weak.
His wife just says, pick a trusted guy, but he's cautious to a fault now. He says he needs another 4 or 5 days to pick the perfect person.
And that delay, with that huge prize just sitting there.
That's the ticking clock.
The elite are paralyzed by fear and past failure.
Exactly. So the narrative just hits pause on the governor's dilemma and slam it executes this really sharp transition.
We leave the Gilded Age failures and plunge right into, the operational competence of local government.
A completely different world.
Totally. The focus shifts to Yancheng County, and right away we meet the new magistrate, Shi Wenbin.
And he's an anomaly in this universe, isn't he?
He's honest, he's clean, compassionate, fair. He's noted for carefully handling land disputes and brawls. He actually does his job.
The contrast is so significant. The elite can't move money, but the local administration is organized and actively guarding against the Liangshan marsh bandits.
So Magistrate Shi immediately summons his 2 main guys for the job, his 2 chief tutus, or police chiefs.
And here they are, our local heroes. Or maybe forces of destiny is more like it?
First up is Zhu Tam. The horse troops do too. They call him the handsome bearded man.
Mei Rengong. And he's physically imposing, almost 9 feet tall, this magnificent tiger beard over a foot long, deep date-colored face.
Eyes like bright stars.
And he comes with this massive cultural reference attached to him. He is explicitly compared to Guan Yunzang.
To Guan Yu.
The very definition of loyalty and righteousness in Chinese folklore. That tells you immediately this guy is meant to be noble.
He's a local, wealthy guy, generous, righteous, commands 40 men. I wonder if that comparison to Guan Yu is actually a hint.
A hint how?
That maybe he's too noble for this corrupt system, destined for something higher.
That's a great point. He represents the ideal, the perfect warrior. But then you meet his partner.
Lei Heng.
The infantry do too, the winged tiger, Chachihu.
He's shorter, about 7'5", dark purple face, fan-shaped beard. He's raw kinetic power, known for strength so great he can jump these wide gaps.
And his background is so much rougher. It reflects that raw nature.
Blacksmith, ran a grain mill, slaughtered cattle, gambled.
He's also righteous, the source says, but then it drops the critical line.
He is narrow-minded.
Exindi Bianzai. That single flaw, it's key.
It absolutely is. Lei Heng is this unpredictable force of nature, especially next to Zhu Tong's, cultured nobility.
That narrow-mindedness implies he's impatient. He
Yeah.
reacts instantly. He doesn't investigate. There's no nuance.
If he thinks something is a nail, he just brings out the hammer.
Yeah, exactly. And that character trait is precisely what kicks off everything that's about to happen.
So Magistrate Shi Wenbin sets the patrol. Zhu Tong gets the west gate. Lei Heng gets the east gate. Their job patrol for Liangshan bandits.
But the magistrate, being this competent bureaucrat, he doesn't trust just a verbal report.
Yeah.
He sets up a unique test for accountability. This is the moment of the red leaf test.
It's brilliant.
To prove they've actually walked their route, they have to collect red leaves from a specific tree on Dongxi Village Mountain. No leaves, you get punished.
It's fantastic operational design. It ensures they cover the ground and you can't fake it. It's a specific, verifiable detail.
It's the system working
The
perfectly.
triumph of rational enforcement.
Right. So Lei Heng and his men, they complete the patrol, they gather the red leaves, mission accomplished, and they start heading back. They stop for a moment at the Lingwen Temple nearby.
And this is where the rational system is just suddenly confronted by the irrational, the force of destiny.
Lei Heng, he's still on high alert, and he finds the temple door unlocked.
He and his men push inside. They're probably expecting a vagrant, maybe a thief.
But what they find is, it's utterly shocking. It's this scene of bizarre primal power.
There's a massive man, sleeping completely naked, using rags for a pillow,
Right there on the sacred altar table.
and snoring loud enough to rattle the ceiling. The audacity of it.
It's stunning, and it clashes completely with the holy space of the temple.
And this is where Lei Heng's defining flaw, his narrow-mindedness, just takes over completely.
He doesn't pause, he doesn't ask questions, he just sees a big, powerful man in a strange place, and he reacts.
Exactly. His training was about bandits.
So he assumes the worst, he cries out, the magistrate was right, there really are thieves here. It's pure confirmation bias.
His 20 soldiers just swarm the guy.
They bind him tightly with a rope and march this mysterious sleeping giant into custody. And the source material is not shy about what's going on here. It explicitly mentions the gathering of the celestial stars, the Gangsing, and the earthly fiends, the Disha, in this area.
So these two heroes, Zhu Tong and Lei Heng, and this strange captured man.
They're all part of a larger fated assembly. Their individual destinies are now completely tied to the fate of that massive tribute.